Let's bring it to a little lighter note.
Let's bring it to
a little lighter note. All right, Steelers season ended. Y'all got blown out 30-9. Shout out Lewis Litt. Appreciate y'all. But look, y'all got blown out. You had to get rid of your head coach, just like us.
Shout out Aiden.
Y'all had to get rid of your head coach, just like us. But who's your quarterback for next year? What do you think they should do for quarterback next year in the NFL? Truly, I have right here. I said they should get Ty Simpson. They should trade all the draft picks and go up and get Ty Simpson. As a Ravens fan, I think I would be splendid if y'all got Ty Simpson. What do you think y'all should do at quarterback next year? Because Aaron Rodgers, your starting quarterback, end of the season in tears in a press conference. That's how he's going to end up retiring. So what do you think the Steelers should do to get a quarterback?
I'm sure you would be splendid. I'm sure you would be very splendid for us to get Ty Simpson, bro.
I would be.
But like you said, Aaron Rodgers, unfortunately, probably going to retire. He did come to Pittsburgh for Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin did step down. Probably going to see that last year, unfortunately, off of pick 6. But who do I want to see as the quarterback for the Steelers? You said what? Send 6 draft picks, first rounders for Ty Simpson? Is that what you said?
Go ahead, do it.
You did say that, right?
Y'all need a quarterback.
I would send 6 first for Fernando Mendoza. Bring Fernando Mendoza to the Steelers. I could see him 6'5", great build. He could hit the ball. He could hit very deep targets. I think that could be the next quarterback for the Steelers. I would love to see it. Send the whole future. I love tall quarterbacks. I love quarterbacks very similar to kind of Josh Allen. I feel like very raw. He can hit the deep ball, very tall, move the pocket, move up and down in the pocket. I would love to have a Fernando Mendoza. Will the Raiders, give that up? Depends on the package. It truly depends on the package. Maybe send a little. Nah,
TJ Watt.
I was about to say something rancid like that, but we're not going to do that. Look, he deserves, we're not going to start that. But I think Steelers could, low-key send maybe a little 4 first rounders for Fernando Mendoza, maybe a little second, maybe a player in between. Who knows? Why not throw it out there?
You know what?
I'm sure the Ravens would love that too, Bear.
No, we wouldn't. But look,
Lamar sucks.
Yeah, cool. Look, you know what? Let's get realistic, my boy. That's never happening. You are not getting Fernando Mendoza. The Raiders are not sending that draft pick away, so you can start thinking about different quarterbacks.
Who knows, bro?
Maybe start thinking about Will Howard being the quarterback for the next 3 years. Yeah, start thinking about that, little boy. Start thinking about that. Truly. But look, that's never going to happen. And even if y'all did, that'd be such an overpay. I like Fernando, the Cuban Missile Crisis, I've called him. Yeah. He's great. He's a good quarterback. He's a good college quarterback. I don't think anything makes him special over any other quarterback you see in the league. Nothing that he brings to the league in terms of arm talent, rushing talent, truly makes him special over anyone else. Maybe if you put him in a good situation, like a Joe Burrow was gifted with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, he could probably do good if he had those good targets.
He has the physicals for it, bro.
He's going to be stuck behind the Raiders' offensive line. Of course, he has Genty. Who's their receivers?
Bowers?
Look, Bowers is good. That's not going to be enough. They're not going to win. Their defense is putrid. He's not going to be good. But you know what? Yeah, for sure. I would love for the Steelers to send 4 first-round draft picks for Fernando Mendoza. Unfortunately, not going to happen, my boy. So you got to start being a little realistic. What do you think is going to happen? Will Howard, Ty Simpson, Dante Moore went back to the college. So do you wait another year? Do you waste a year? Do you tank a little bit? What do you think?
I doubt we'll tank. I doubt we'll.
Maybe not intentionally.
I doubt we'll stoop to the Ravens level of tanking for some dubs and some draft picks. Because one thing the Steelers are going to do, they're going to get the right head coach. Yeah. They're gonna tenure them up. They're gonna get the right draft picks. They're gonna cook, bro. You know it. You know.
Fantasy line. You're not gonna get the right head coach.
No.
I think you're
overthinking. You truly don't think we're gonna get the right head coach. After 3 perfect, about 15+ season head coaches, you know they're gonna get the right head coach this time around.
You're gonna miss. You're gonna miss, and you know what?
Holy Ravens fan.
You're gonna miss, and you're not. And I'm gonna go back to this. You're going to miss. There's no great head coach out there. There's no next Mike Tomlin out there in this cycle, I don't believe. So if you rush to it, I don't think you're going to get anyone worth the while. Same thing for the Ravens. I'm kind of sad about this coaching cycle. 2, there's no great quarterbacks out there right now. So I think y'all should tank. And you know what? The Ravens never tanked. We got Lamar Jackson. You mentioned we got him at pick 32. That year we had pick 25 and we got Hayden Hurst. We had a good year that year. It was not horrible. We didn't tank. We got Lamar Jackson at pick 32. So we never tanked.
I'm not saying you tanked for the. I'm not saying you tanked for Lamar Jackson. I'm saying in previous years.
You can say we tanked for Ronnie Stanley when we were number 6. No, we had Matt Shaw playing quarterback in 2015 for the Ravens. The whole team just went down. Yeah, we had injuries. We had Joe Flacco. He went down to injury. We had lots of losses because we were very injured.
And then y'all started tanking.
We didn't tank. We still beat the Browns late in the season. Browns. Yes, I know Browns, but. We're still competing to the very end to win games. We just weren't very good that year. I mean, we just truly weren't very good. We didn't have good players. There was a lot of injuries going on, so we didn't tank. I think y'all should tank, though. I think y'all should take a step back. Maybe y'all should do what the Patriots did. They took Gerard Mayo for a year. They tanked. They got their quarterback. They had a bad head coach, and they waited for a better coach to come on in the next cycle. And they got Mike Vrabel, and now they're chilling. But there's nothing wrong with that. There truly is nothing wrong with that. You know what? I hope the Ravens do that as well because there's no outstanding head coaches out there. I don't want any of those OCs, DCs out there. I don't want any of them, truly.
Huh?
But the Steelers are different because they need the two most important positions in the NFL. They need head coach and they need quarterback. Both are missing. That is what you need to win a Super Bowl, and y'all have neither of them. So you are very far back right now, even with a good defense and a good organization.
Look, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be completely honest. I 100% believe that the Steelers were one wide receiver away from being the Super Bowl winners. I'm being 100% honest. I can do that, bro. I believe that if DK didn't throw a punch to the fan in the last 2 games, and he stayed consistent and hot, showed out against the Texans, I feel like the Steelers, we would be celebrating them right now. Yes, celebrating them. I think truly the Steelers, you saying they should tank when they have players like TJ Watt on a $40 million contract. They have Cam Hayward, a trusted vet who just got an all-pro second team. They have a pretty good secondary. Joey Porter Jr., shout out Joey Porter Jr., showed out against the Texans, even though the offense didn't. They are an offensive piece away from making that leap, and I am going to die on that hill. Why are you making that face?
Folks, the Steelers lost 30-9, by the way, in the wild card round.
Look, can I keep it a buck?
Look.
It was 7-6 entering the fourth quarter due to their offense. They had about 5 or 4 turnovers on the Texans sideline due to the defense really stepping up and showing that pressure.
Look,
they have the same exact defense going into next year. Why give that up when all they need is one offensive piece? Why tank an entire year when you have players like TJ Watt, Cam Hayward, vets, trusted vets? Why would you tank the entire year when you have players like that on the payroll?
Look, the Steelers have spent the past 6 to 8 years putting Band-Aids on a torn ACL. They have been signing players desperate to stay relevant, such as Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, paying players like Jalen Ramsey, trading for Jalen Ramsey, TJ Watt. They've been trying to stay relevant and for a winning season for the past 8 years where they have built no future. You got some young pieces on defense, I won't lie. But besides DK Metcalf, not many players on offense. And like I mentioned, you can say these obscure names that only like role players that Steelers fans would know. You're probably about to say that with those fast guys out there. But look, at the end of the day, you are missing the 2 most important positions in football. You talk about Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes. You talk about Joe Burrow.
Lamar Jackson, John Harbaugh.
Hey, we're missing one of them, but we're not missing both of them.
But what did that get y'all, though?
Not
Truly,
much.
what did that get y'all? What did an MVP and a Hall of Fame coach get y'all? What did that get y'all?
I don't think John Harbaugh's Hall of Fame. But look,
you don't think John Harbaugh is a Hall of Fame coach?
I don't think he's a Hall of Fame coach.
Crazy Ravens this?
If he won one more Super Bowl, probably. But look, you are missing both pieces. You know what? Those are not easy pieces to fix. Head coach is one of the hardest ones to pick, as you've seen with the Browns many, many times. Quarterback, same thing. You know what? Y'all have not had a good track record since Ben Roethlisberger with finding the right guy. Thought maybe Mason Rudolph.
It's hard. It's a hard thing to get both things. Look, guess what? You have an MVP in Lamar Jackson. Okay, you have a Hall of Fame coach in John Harbaugh. I'm saying he's Hall of Fame. And guess what? You still can't win a Super Bowl. Because guess what? You have players or teams like the Ravens. They sign players like Roquan Smith, like you said last week, aging.
In his prime, though. When we got him, he was like 26 years old.
But where is that at now?
Look,
where is that at now?
John Harbaugh.
Similar to what the Steelers do, in my opinion.
John Harbaugh was not the guy. And I'll say that. I'll be the first one to say that. We should have won the Super Bowl in 2023 with the roster we had with that defense with Lamar Jackson.
Number 1 defense, yes. MVP Lamar Jackson.
We had all those pieces.
Did not win it.
And you know what? John Harbaugh wasn't the guy. You got to get the head coach right. You know what? Obviously, even Steve Bisciotti knows that was not the right guy. People asked him if John Harbaugh beat the Steelers, would he still be here? Yeah, probably for a week more. Everyone in the Ravens organization, everyone on the Ravens, the whole locker room, the fans, everyone knew he was not that guy anymore. Same thing for Mike Tomlin. It is hard to find that guy. And you know what? Y'all have 2 huge missing pieces. They're the hardest pieces to find in football. You're screwed.
So you're truly saying for the Steelers to tank their entire year when they have multiple players on payroll who are making millions of dollars,
yes,
who are still showing out,
yes,
who are still producing, when they actually basically brought us to this point of our season, in the playoffs, first round, 7-6, going to the fourth quarter against a team, like you said, against a defense, possibly an all-time great defense in the Texans. Yep. I think the Steelers, like I said, one player away. Honestly, I was kind of sad they didn't get Jacoby Myers. I was kind of sad that, who else?
Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, Jacoby Myers is tough. He gives Trevor Lawrence that, ability to really show off his offensive ability. That's why the Jaguars really had their end of season run. With Jacoby Myers. Let me pull some stats, actually.
Jacoby Myers away from winning the Super Bowl?
Yes,
yeah, right. Jacoby Myers would not get you out to the Super Bowl. But look,
I truly believe that.
You can remember the stats, but look, we're going to wrap it up. We've been going for a little minute on that. But look, y'all are a lot further than I think you are. And Mike Tomlin was keeping y'all afloat. I'll give credit to Mike Tomlin. He can put together good seasons. but y'all don't even have him anymore. So at the end of the day, you're looking for.
We don't have good
coach.
seasons anymore.
No, y'all not gonna have a good season.
So
Mike Tomlin kept y'all afloat because he knew how to win games against lesser opponents. Shout out my Ravens. He knew how to a head coach.
2-0 against the Ravens.
Yeah, John
2-0
Harbaugh's not that guy. I'll be the first one to admit it. John Harbaugh was not that guy.
Who do y'all want to get?
I have no idea. None of the. That's why I'm telling you. None of the head coaches.
So y'all should tank too.
No, because
should y'all tank?
We're a lot closer than the Steelers.
Why do y'all say that?
Because we got our.
But y'all didn't even make playoffs.
Because we got our quarterback.
But y'all didn't make playoffs.
We had an injured quarterback, and if he's healthy, and we got.
Y'all had the chance to make playoffs though, but y'all didn't.
Yeah, if we had a healthy quarterback, we're a lot closer than the Steelers are because you are missing two biggest pieces. We're only missing one.
So the Ravens are closer because they have a healthy quarterback in Lamar Jackson. When you've seen Lamar Jackson sell previous times in the playoffs.
We are truly because y'all are missing two big pieces. We're only missing one. We have our quarterback. We just need the head coach. Truly, that's all I have on that. Do you have anything?
That's all I have to say on that. Truly,
all right.
I don't think the Steelers should tank. Ravens suck.
Big L.
All right.